What if I told you that the most powerful force in the world isn't money, data, or technology? It's storytelling. Every movement, every brand, every revolution started with a story. From Apple's Think Different to Nike's Just Do It, stories aren't just entertainment. They're persuasion engines. But here's the question. Why do some stories change the world, while others vanish without a trace? In this episode, we're deconstructing the art and science of modern storytelling, how it works, why it works, and how you can master it. You'll learn how great storytellers use emotion to bypass logic, how they structure tension to sustain attention, and how the psychology of narrative can transform ordinary messages into movements. Whether you're a creator, entrepreneur, or simply someone who wants to connect more deeply, this will change how you see communication forever. Once upon a time, storytelling was an art, performed around fires, passed through generations, shaping culture and belief. But today, storytelling has become a strategy. Every major brand, every viral post, every pitch deck, it's all storytelling disguised as marketing. And in a digital world drowning in content, only stories with emotional gravity survive. Think about it. The average person scrolls through hundreds of posts a day. Most are forgotten instantly. But once in a while, something sticks. A story captures attention, triggers emotion, and stays in your memory. Why? Because storytelling is not just communication. It's cognitive architecture. It organizes chaos into meaning. Modern storytelling isn't about fairy tales. It's about framing facts with feeling, turning information into transformation. The problem is, most people get storytelling wrong. They confuse information with narrative. They think telling people what happened is enough. It's not. The human brain doesn't crave facts. It craves friction, emotion, and resolution. Here's the brutal truth. Without tension, there's no attention. Every great story, whether it's a movie, a TED Talk, or a viral tweet, contains conflict. A question, a tension that demands resolution. The hero wants something, but something stands in the way. In business, the hero might be your customer. The villain might be confusion, risk, or pain. Your product becomes the guide, the Yoda to their Luke Skywalker. Joseph Campbell called it the hero's journey. Hollywood calls it the three-act structure. Marketers call it a funnel. Different names, same psychology. The conflict makes people care. The resolution gives them relief. And the emotions in between? That's where persuasion happens. Let's break it down scientifically. Storytelling works because it hijacks the brain's chemistry. When you introduce a challenge, the brain releases cortisol, heightening focus. When you create empathy, it releases oxytocin, building trust. When you resolve tension, dopamine floods in, rewarding understanding. This chemical symphony turns your story into an experience. That's why you remember how a story made you feel, not the details it contained. Modern storytellers understand this. They engineer emotion. Netflix uses microtension every few minutes to keep you watching. Apple launches products with emotional arcs, not tech specs. Even political speeches follow narrative rhythm. Problem, struggle, hope, action. The deeper secret? Modern audiences crave authenticity. They don't want perfect stories. They want true ones. The rise of social media shifted storytelling from performance to vulnerability. People connect not with perfection, but with imperfection. The moment someone says, "I struggled too." That's why raw, unpolished stories outperform polished ads. Emotion aesthetics. Let's look at some real-world cases. Case 1. Nike. Dream crazy. When Nike featured Colin Kaepernick, they weren't selling shoes. They were selling a story. A story about courage, identity, and belief. It polarized the world, but it built loyalty because it stood for something emotionally charged. Case 2. Tesla, the mission. Elon Musk doesn't sell cars. He sells a vision, a planet that survives. Every tweet, every event, every product line aligns with one narrative: accelerating sustainable energy. That's why people buy Teslas before even test driving them. They're not customers, they're believers. Case 3. Airbnb. Belong anywhere. Airbnb didn't invent home rentals. They invented belonging. Their brand story reframed strangers as hosts and travelers as friends. It turned a risky transaction into a global movement of human connection. These examples show a pattern. Modern storytelling isn't just about what you sell. It's about what you stand for. People don't follow data. They follow drama. And in a world flooded with noise, emotion cuts through like a laser. Here's how to apply this power. Step 1. Start with emotion, not logic. Identify the core emotion you want your audience to feel: hope, fear, excitement, belonging. Logic informs. Emotion transforms. Step 2. Frame a relatable conflict. What problem, tension, or question can your audience relate to? Without stakes, there's no story. Step 3. Position yourself as the guide. You're not the hero, they are. Your role is to light the path, not steal the spotlight. Step 4. Design a resolution that empowers. Show transformation. Don't just explain it, feel it. Step 5. End with a call to meaning. Every great story ends with a truth, a moral, a reason to act. That's how you turn storytelling into strategy, and words into impact. Here's the truth. Every person, every brand, every leader is already telling a story. The question is, are you telling it consciously or by accident? Because stories shape identity. They can build empires or destroy reputations. They can sell ideas, change behavior, even alter belief. So next time you post, pitch, or speak, don't just share information. Craft transformation. Because in a world drowning in noise, the best story always wins. Stay curious, stay creative, and remember, your story is your power. If this opened your mind, subscribe for more deep dives into storytelling, psychology, and business strategy. And as always, keep writing your legend.